Very good. Notice it has Economics for Dummies up here. You can actually buy this book. There is such a thing. But what is economics? It is a social science. Social science meaning how do people interact socially? How do people make decisions? And for this one, it's specifically about the how and the why. People make choices about allocation. That's a new word, allocation. What does it say in parentheses that means? Distribution. So allocation is how you distribute resources that are scarce. Alright, now there's very interesting words in there that probably a lot of us have never seen before. Allocation, allocation, scarce, resources, and goods. Each of those are words we're going to learn about in this unit. Alright, scarcity. Talk to me about what scarcity actually means. Steve, what does it mean if something's scarce? Limited, small amount, not enough. Not enough of something. So what are things that are scarce in our lives sometimes? Will, what's something that's sometimes scarce for you? Gas. Okay, gas is scarce for Will. Anybody else have things that are scarce for you?
Money.
Money is scarce for all of us. We all have limited amounts of money. What else can be scarce?
Sometimes food.
Sometimes food.
Water.
Sometimes water. What else?
Time.
Time can sometimes be scarce. So we've got all these things that can be scarce. We run into these problems where Will doesn't have enough gas. So then what decisions do you have to make, Will, when you're running low on gas?
Ride with somebody.
Ride with somebody. Or, that's always a good opportunity if you can find somebody that's willing to let you bum a ride with them. Or, when you're limited on gas, can it make you be more cautious about where you go? Because you know you've got a limited supply. So, look at scarcity. Basic condition exists when unlimited wants exceed limited resources. Alright, so let's talk about that money issue, because really with the gas, it's a shortage of money. Because if you had plenty of money, you could go buy some more gas, right? So with gas, it's actually a shortage of money. Alright, so in looking at that, look at who scarcity troubles. Everybody. Every single society, gentlemen, has scarcity to deal with. Now, are the same things scarce in every society?
No.
So what do you think has to be required for something to be scarce other than there's a shortage of it? A need for it. And I've got to want it. Alright? There needs to be a need for it, a limited supply of it, and I need to desire to have it in order for it to be scarce. So would water, could it be considered a scarcity? Yes, because we do have a need and a want, and it is limited. Not as limited here as it is in other countries. There's other countries, particularly in the Middle East, where they have very limited supplies of fresh water. We have lakes and rivers everywhere. They don't, and they've actually had to invent the process of desalination, where they take ocean water and remove the salt. That's how scarce water is for them. All right? What about garbage, Devin? Would garbage be scarce?
Nope. You don't want it.
You don't want it. So no, it's not going to be scarce unless I can come up with a...
Make it fuel or something.
If I could come up with a reason that I could need it like a fuel, if I could turn it into a biofuel, man. Unlimited supply of garbage. We've got tons of it. My son he accuses me all the time that I intentionally hunt things to throw in the trash so that he just has to go to the trash can and dump it because that's his chore at the house. So we have an unending supply of garbage, and it's not something that I desire, so it's not considered scarce to me. Alright, so it affects every decision we make. Scarcity of different things affect every decision we make. Alright, so let's look at resources. Resources are the goods that you need, the supplies that you need to be able to produce a good. Alright, yesterday we used the example of Ashton with a body shop, right? What are some resources that Ashton was going to need? If we look at this, let's look, before we go to Ashton's body shop, all things people use to make goods. Goods are just another word for products. The product you're going to make. Anybody besides Ashton thought of opening a business before? Michael, you're kind of in a business right now. What is your business?
Barbecue.
Barbecue. Michael is actually working with his stepfather, and they are making barbecue to be sold to people, pulled barbecue, all kinds of different things, pulled pork, and that sort of thing. So, what is your goal, your product? Satisfying people's hunger with a good, clean product of barbecue. Some sort of barbecue. That is his goal. And he's been talking to me about participating in competitions and those sorts of things. He and his stepfather are trying to really perfect their recipe for pulled pork versus what other people might be doing. All right? We must figure out how to allocate our scarce resources. And then each time people make choices about how to use their resources, they must make a trade-off. Oh, help me remember from yesterday, what is a trade-off?
First choice.
My first choice on something. And what is it called when I give something up?
Opportunity cost.
An opportunity cost. So let's get an example real quickly. We did a couple of these yesterday, but let's get an example real quickly. Could I have 3 volunteers come up here, please? Come on up, just 3 of you. 3 of you come up. Thank you. Hold that close to you. Hold that close. Thank you. All right, those are a little light in color. It's hard to see them. My marker was running out. But we have doors 1, 2, and 3. Now, Lexi wasn't here yesterday. Lexi, we're playing Let's Make a Deal of a Sense. You get to choose what's behind these doors. Lexi, you can only choose 1 door. So let's start with the one you want to eliminate. Which one do you not want? Door 1, 2, or 3?
3.
All right, she does not want the prize behind door 3. Let's go ahead and show her what she gave up, Ashton. $20,000. Woo! That would have been a nice prize. All right, so Lexi, you've narrowed it down to 2 doors. Which one will you choose?
2.
She's going to choose door 2. So now, class, that becomes her trade-off. She chose door 2. What does door 1 become?
Opportunity.
Her opportunity cost. So let's show her what she gave up, Steve. She gave up $5,000. She's already given up 20 and she gave up 5. What did she get for her trade-off, E? $50,000. Way to go, Lexi. Worked out pretty well. Thank you, gentlemen. You are very good at that.
It never happened like that in real life.
Does it ever happen that way? No, on all the little game shows, I always pick the wrong one. All right. So, when we look at our resources, we're looking at terms like trade-offs and opportunity costs. So, in your own words then, John, tell me what trade-off means. My first choice. All right, so in your own words then, Harley, what is an opportunity cost? Something I could have chosen, but I didn't. I gave it up. And so when you look at opportunity cost, it is defined as, by economists, the next best alternative given up when individuals, businesses, and governments confront scarcity by making choices. All right, so let's take an example here. Let's go to Ashton's business yesterday with the body shop. Ashton, you had mentioned yesterday that 2 major pieces of equipment you'd need in an auto body shop are an air compressor, which costs a nice little chunk of change, and a lift, to be able to lift, a hydraulic lift, I'm assuming, to lift your cars and stuff up. All right, you have a limited supply of money. What are you going to choose? What do you think is more important to your business?
Out of those 2?
Out of those 2.
The air compressor.
Air compressor. Okay, so the air compressor, according to Ashton, is his what?
Trade-off.
It's his trade-off. I gotta have it. All right? He said this one, although both of them are very important, but this one is his next best alternative. So it becomes his what?
Opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost. He gave it up because he couldn't have both. Are you with me? All right, so some examples of that in your life might be things like, what college am I going to go to? Am I going to go to Georgia Southern, or am I going to go to Valdosta? It's not